I think that the graduate program is the heart of any academic department. In training graduate students, we are preparing them for a professional career in academia or beyond.
One of the greatest strengths of being at the University of Minnesota is the range of other institutions or resources in the Twin Cities areas that students can draw on.
It really fosters the sense that you're in an intellectual community that is much broader than just your discipline. It's an incredibly rich environment for sharing your work, and I think that intellectual community of our department and that culture that we have of sharing our research, of talking to one another, faculty and students, is one of the things that makes our department really very strong.
We are a really tight-knit community, and I think that's really important in fostering a strong intellectual community, because then you become more familiar with other people's work, and that's how you yourself grow as an intellectual. I worked with David Valentine on his current project, so I got to kind of see how anthropologists develop the narratives that they write. So that I thought was like really good preparation for my own project.
All our professors work in the field and do lab work. This is not an armchair anthropology department. We all work together and try to have an integrated approach.
It's both a department that tries to engage in the world and understand key global problems. And not only that, but it actually tries to unpack the very taken for granted categories that are often invisible to those who are most implicated in and complicit with the larger cultural categories. These are the kinds of things that we are doing in our department to challenge these dominant categories in ways that actually help and aid, really thoughtful social movements.
I think the community and the department itself also really strengthens the research that we do. The range of techniques that you can draw on to do your work runs the gamut. This is the beauty of coming to study this in a very large research university. It makes our work much, much stronger.
I think it's a kind of space where grad students are encouraged to think outside the box, to pursue kind of crazy ideas about projects that they might do, and also get a lot of support.
I have a lot of resources to draw upon here within the anthropology department, but also in other places of the university.
We have really great lab resources here. For my work, I've been using photogrammetry as a way of capturing data about objects in 3D. And I wouldn't have actually gotten started with any 3D stuff if it wasn't for existing resources in the department and an existing excitement about using new technologies.
We are always kind of looking to the kinds of new technologies that we can bring in and use, and our students actually are helping us to forge new grounds with those technologies as we go along, and actually suggesting some of the things that we ought to be looking into acquiring next. So that's kind of fun.
We have a very strong tradition in our department of getting students into the field early and getting them writing grants early. And whether you go on to an academic career or to a career in NGOs or in government, public policy, whatever it might be, having that skill is fundamental.
All of my work really evolved from my PhD research, and I bring anthropology into pretty much everything I do. This training has really been instrumental actually in getting the postdoctoral scholar position that I now have.
Having the access to the wide range of resources here in the anthropology department is really integral to preparing me for professional activities in the future.